Hey, what's going on, everyone? It's Felix here with your Word on the Street. And today's verse is part of a series of verses known as Romans Road. And Romans Road are verses in the book of Romans, obviously, written by the Apostle Paul that reflect man's sinful nature, the price that sin costs, and the price that was paid for that sin. But awesomely, it's the way to get to heaven as a result of that price being paid by Jesus. And in Romans chapter 10, verse 9, Paul says that if you confess with your mouth that Jesus is Lord and believe in your heart that God raised him from the dead, you will be saved. So in order to do this, there are two things that are required for salvation. This verse says that we need to use our words, okay? So one, we confess with our mouths. And two, probably the hardest thing to do, is that we have to believe in our hearts. So, it's just, those are the two requirements that this verse speaks about. And we tend to make the first part really hard. We think that if we go to church or that if we say something in the name of Jesus, that lightning will fall out of the sky, or that we're such a bad sinner that there's no way that God will ever accept us in heaven. Well, God says that you actually aren't that bad, that he won't take you. He said that he wants all to be saved. And in the original Greek language, all means all. That means everyone. So to confess with your mouth, that requires, there's no hoops to jump through, basically. It's just, you just confess with your mouth. There's no hoops. God doesn't leave it as like some kind of thing that you can't climb, no mountain, none of that. We just tell God what we believe about Jesus in our own words. As pastors, as teachers, there may be there's a simple way that they put it to where they could explain what we're trying to say to God to be saved. Our confession is a public confession, making it known to everyone that you belong to the almighty, awesome God. Or it could be a private confession where no one is around and you're in despair and you're ready to maybe take your own life. And it's just you and the creator of the universe in a place where you are totally broken. Just one-on-one, and you scream out to God. This initial moment of confessing Christ with your mouth starts with a process that will last a lifetime, and it's a heart process. Faith in God is about believing in God. Our faith in action is rooted in our belief. And if we believe that God is who he says he is, our actions will reflect that. He says to love our neighbors. If you believe God, you'll love your neighbors. And if you don't, you won't, you see? So faith in action is rooted in our belief, but belief is not just like a mental task. It's the heart condition, guys. All right, that's the most important thing, because this is a lifetime process here. So check it out. If you say that you love God and you trust him with all your heart, then you show that. When the storms of life pass your way, you go directly to him. You stand on his foundation for your life. Okay? You stand firm and you lean into him. However, in contrast to that trust, when the storms of life pass you by, you run from God, you argue with God, and you refuse to be obedient to God. So everything that you do, you try your hardest to outdo God. Your actions prove faith. Our lives prove our hearts, and our hearts prove our belief. So let me ask you this. Have you confessed with your mouth? Does your life show that you believe with your heart? Two questions to ask yourself today, guys. Romans chapter 10, verse 9. The word of faith brings salvation. And that's your word on the street.